Okay, so we're back for more of these Great Granddaughter, Lostbelt 5 Olympus, and I just met up with that Nikola Tesla and his fellow crewmates, along Helena, Thomas, and Mordred and Takada. So I believe they met each other in between London and Uberus Lunum. Right, anyway. God destroy Alliance base. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars, one. Gazing up at the sky always reminds me of my beautiful, fragile daughter. My dear daughter, who was born solely to be loved. You always loved everything that grew on the land. You always had such a bright smile on your face. I always hoped that one day you would meet someone wonderful, fall in love, and have a dear child of your own who looked just like you. Then that child would one day have a child of their own, and so on, and so on. Until one day, the land would be covered with your descendants. That's what I used to dream about, and I truly believed it would happen. But now... Why? Why? Why did you leave the land that day? Great orbital shrine, Olympia Dodana. Hanging perimeter gardens.
The birds are chirping merrily again today. They sing the praises of Olympus. They sing of how happy they are to be here among its glorious skies, bountiful harvest, and beautiful vistas. And yet, my heart sits ill at ease.
Sounds like you got it rough too, hun. You're the queen, right? In my world's version of Greek mythology, I remember Zeus falling in love with the human queen at one point. But they say you fused with Zeus' first wife, Hera. Doesn't that feel like sharing a body with your mother-in-law? How can you stand it? And on top of that, you're even acting as his priestess. I guess Zeus must be really attached to you. By the way, just out of curiosity, how does this Lostbelt feel about women's rights?
During the Olympia Machia, Lady Hera suffered a grave wound, and her original mechanical body was destroyed. But Zeus was reluctant to lose his beloved queen forever. By fusing her remnants with me, a heroic spirit from proper human history, he was able to prolong both of our lives. Such is the depth of his love for us.
I see.
Thank you for worrying about me, Pepe. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I was hoping to ask you about the Chaldeans.
How could I say no to that? Especially after you've so kindly be putting me up in your lovely palace? Shrine?
Oh, what's this? Are you two having a nice chat? Any friend of Crusader Rodimes is a friend of Zeus. Please, make yourself at home.
Why, thank you. Don't mind if I do then.
I must applaud your initiative, Queen Europa. Lady Demeter, I would never have thought to do something so dreadful as gathering information on Chaldea and proper human history. What's this all about? No way. Let me guess. Is it because you feel responsible for letting him get away yesterday? Yes, that's right. I feel terrible about not being able to fulfill Lord Zeus' revelation. Oh, you poor thing. You really are quite the wayward, aren't you? But you don't have to worry about things like this. Just let myself and the other gods take care of it. You may have assimilated with Lady Hera, but you're still only a demigod. Zeus would never want you pushing yourself beyond your limits. All you need to do is sit and smile by the flowers, like any young maiden your age. Have you met my daughter, Persephone, yet? I would just love to see you two become friends. Lady Demeter, I'm afraid Persephone is a servant, was it? Heroes who were inscribed in humanity upon their death, and now materialize as heroic spirit. What a truly awful procedure. I can scarcely think of anything more dreadful. Everyone knows humans should only be reborn from their mothers. Say, I have a wonderful idea, Europa. You should think of me as your mother now. It's quite alright, Europa. There's no need to be polite. I'm the goddess of the land, and the land has always been mother to all things.
Mother of the land, huh? That sounds like Gaia. In the Greek mythology I know, she was the mother of the earth, the gods, and everything else under the sun. She was also married to Uranus, the first god of the heavens.
First, there was chaos, then Gaia, the land, came forth and gave birth to everything. The land has always been a mother. That's how it's supposed to be. And the sea? The sea was also a mother. Or at least it was supposed to be.
The sea? I didn't sense any sort of femininity from the late god of the Sea of Atlantis. Maybe that refers to the Oceanites, the daughters of the sea.
Oh, Pepe, human sage. That isn't what I mean. I suppose it might be difficult for you to understand. But all the same, I'm certain the sea was also once a mother.
Next one. A magical energy signal is making its way towards the ship. It's kind of faint, but I recognize this pattern anywhere. It's a servant. Damn it. Now what do? We don't have anyone here who can fight right now.
Calm down, Manuel. Have you tried a more thorough scan yet?
It's Munir. What? Now you can't even remember the food theme anymore? But anyway, good idea. I'll run through a thorough scan right now.
Easy there, guys. Just keep it together. I already scanned the servant myself, and there's nothing to worry about.
Leonardo!
Technical advisor, what are you thinking? You're supposed to be in recovery.
Hey, what's the big idea? You know I prefer to be called Da Vinci. Anyway, don't worry about me. My recovery's still coming along fine. Holmes was nice enough to set things up for me so I could connect my consciousness to the Borders Core from the recovery pod. That said, the most I can do right now is activate the system that don't need the magical reactors to be rebooted.
So, you're not overexerting yourself then?
Of course not! I'm still making my health my first priority. Isn't that what your family's homunculus used to do, too?
Yes, it is. Ruthlessly so, in fact. But never mind that now. What did the scan tell us?
Oh, right. The magical energy signal. Well, like I said, there's nothing to worry about. Their spirit urchin is super high quality, but I can also tell from their low magical energy levels that they're in pretty bad shape. So it looks like a really high-end heroic spirit. One with a spirit urchin that's on par with a divine spirit. Has drifted here. Probably from Atlantis.
Drifted? So what? You saying they got sucked into the Great Pit's whirlpool? And they've been sort of floating around this area ever since, instead of falling straight down?
They probably got some kind of passive ability that lets them move around like this, even when they're adrift.
Then we need to make a calm, level-headed decision. So we'll have a powerful, divine spirit level 7, drifting about in a weakened state. From Atlantis. Now what is it?
Relax, old man. That was just our new message sound. Looks like we've got a bunch of data from the Wandering Sea. Huh? The readme's a video file. I'll put it up on the main monitor. Okay.
Firstly, I want to congratulate all of you on making it to Olympus. Now that you have made it this far, I wish you success in cutting down the tree of emptiness. I have been going over all the data you sent me, and it has proven extremely useful. Thanks to what you learned by going up against the machine gods Artemis and Poseidon. We now know we can expect that the other gods of Olympus are similarly powerful mechanical beings with combat abilities beyond human ken. And above all, we have gained information from the ultimate weapon that Hephaestus designed and forged out of Achilles' divine construct armor. The longbow Orion used to shoot down Artemis. That piece of data turned out to be the final key.
The final key.
This is the key that will give humans the means to bring down gods. The last hope we have of fighting back against these literal Deus Ex Machina.
Alright. Second part. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. The skyscrapers are collapsing! Damn these Olympian gods! Not even my defenses can stand in the face of their assault! They're about to break through every one of our defensive lines. Grrr! Assemble, my mass-produced mechanical soldiers! It's up to you to hold the last line of defense. Let them hear you roar, man! Even if we should vanish here today, the flag of freedom will still fly strong. Farewell, fellow Chaldeans. The rest is up to you now.
I finished the first 2 summoning positions. I'm so close to finishing more, but we just don't have enough time. If we only had a few more minutes, I could have at least finished the 3rd and 4th.
I'm sorry, lady. If nothing else, we should have at least made sure you could escape. Edison's group have been fighting admirably. They clearly learned much from their experiences and singularities. But I'm afraid this is as far as we go. We are truly, utterly defeated. The gods' lone strike will surely demolish this entire sector before you can deal them even a single blow.
Maybe we threw caution to the wind too soon. Or maybe we never had any chance of winning at all. Damn it. Damn it! Mechanical Olympian gods, huh? They're the real deal, so they might even know something about Mahatma.
I know, but remember, they are the enemy of all proper human history. They may well be ships that cross the sea of stars to come here, my wise and beautiful Helena. But they are absolutely not the stars you looked up to.
Thank you, Mr. Tesla. You're very kind.
It's the truth, lady. Hear me, gods! This world does not belong to you. You were consigned to the trash heap of proper human history long ago. You aren't protecting anything. You only suffocate humanity with your enduring tyranny. Humanity will never be your pets or play. So that's a flashback. Okay. Alright. Hello? Okay. Triple double dot. Is that you, Mash?
Good morning. Good. You're already up. I hope you don't mind if I come in. Good morning, Senpai. Did you sleep well last night? Are you okay, Senpai? You look pale.
I feel like I just had a really bad dream. Mash?
Senpai, as a matter of fact, I had a bad dream myself. I think it's probably because we heard that all the Helix spirits that came to Olympus from Atlantis were wiped out.
So much for finding other Helix spirits to join us.
Still, they did leave this hidden base for us. It should be more than functional enough for our purposes. And Musashi is here to help too, so it hasn't been a complete loss. Now that we settle in here, we should report back to Director Gordar. Our comm situation still hasn't improved, but at least we might not have so much interference down here thanks to a difference in atmospheric magical energy levels.
Foe?
Thanks, Foe.
Foe?
Come on, Senpai. Musashi and Holmes are waiting for you. Morning, Suckfrost. Did you sleep well last night? Oh, if you're hungry, there's breakfast to be had over there. I'll say this about Olympus. The food here is yummy. I visited lots of different worlds back when I was alive. And as food goes, this place is easily in the top 5. Must mean civilization here has flourished to the point they can really focus on things like refining their cuisine. It's just too bad they apparently never got around to inventing udon. You really do love udon, don't you, Musashi? So do I. Oh, a fellow udon lover, right? You just can't beat that texture. It's true. The way the noodles glide across your tongue while being delightfully chewy all at the same time always makes me end up eating more than I intended. Oh yeah, I know servants don't technically need to sleep or eat, but just because we can go without both doesn't mean we should, if you ask me. Getting good rest helps you feel centered and focused, and a good meal just makes you straight up happy. I mean, since we materialize with emotions and all, it'd be a waste to neglect them.
I'm glad to see you in such good spirits, Musashi.
You bet I am. I'm still me, no matter where I go or what I do. Sure, things might be kind of depressing lately, but in general, I'd like to smile my way through life. That's the kind of gal I was in life, and it's who I am today.
Foe?
Oh, money to you too, Bo. So, now that we had a chance to slow down and catch our breath, I think it's a good time to tell you what I've been up to since we last saw each other in Russia. First, just so we're all on the same page, I was able to meet up with you guys in Russia because of my, unique constitution. See, I was able to wander into neighboring worlds in life. I always thought of it as Lady Canon's guidance, though recently, I learned it's actually called drifting. So I think what happened was that I ended up drifting right before the world was wiped clean. When I drifted back a moment later, there was nothing left but bleached white ground everywhere I looked. At the time, I thought I ended up on some blank slate parallel world somewhere. But after wandering around for a while, I drifted right into the snowy fields of the Russian Lostbelt. You with me so far? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, except for one thing.
Right, back at Chaldea, your drift was recorded as something similar in nature to a ray ship. So my understanding was that you could only drift to different time periods in parallel worlds. Yep, as a rule, my drifts always put me in different worlds, never in the same one I drifted from. Before, if I wanted to drift back to the same world as all of you guys, I basically have to keep drifting between different worlds and hope I eventually get lucky. But when I drifted out of Russia, I found myself face to face with the same bleached white earth of 2020. I tried a few more drifts after that, and it all turned out the same way. Well, I didn't always end up in the same location. I did always end up in the same world and time period. A bit surprising at first, but I realized I basically gained a superpower. the ability to teleport across long distances. From there, I spent my days running around, fighting off weird creatures, and testing how much I could control my new ability. Then, one day...
Watch yourself, woman. Colliding with another teleporter is unheard of, even in the Magecraft world.
I ran into this guy who was kind of arrogant, but basically alright, and we ended up traveling together for a while. He turned out to know a ton about all kinds of things, like he knew what kind of divine power my trip uses. And what happened to you guys after Russia? I'm not sure if there was anything he didn't know. Anyway, he pretty much caught me up on the whole situation. So I decided to sneak into the Atlantic Lostbelt ahead of you guys and wait for you. Oh, I even managed to trip to Olympus easy peasy. They never even knew I was here. Unfortunately, my trip only worked on me, so I couldn't bring Roped Guide or any other hero spirits along. They're probably gonna need more help besides just me. Should we spend more time looking for other servants?
No need. Circumstances being what they are, we can be assured that a grand servant will appear in the Atlantic Lostbelt. That servant will be a much more powerful ally than you could ever hope to be. That being said,
Yeah?
they will need you as well. If you want to come along, I can take you as far as the Atlantic Lostbelt, but no farther. The counterforce The counterforce truly is nothing if not meticulous, meandering, and mean-spirited. So basically, your self-warping powers really came through.
Yeah, I always used to think of this tendency to drift as a problem, so I'm glad it turned out to actually be useful for once. So, in exchange for no longer being able to ray shift to different time periods in parallel worlds, you're now essentially able to freely teleport, at least to a certain extent. It's very impressive that you've been able to make your way into Lostbelt without embarking on a zero sail. Yep, I'm not really sure how it works myself, but that all sounds right. So in summary, your drift ability involves jumping into the rift between worlds, then emerging into another world. I think it's safe to assume that it still works that same way, since that would explain how you were able to get past the Lostbelt storm walls. The idea is that you're jumping into a higher dimension, then falling back down to a lower one. The only difference is that before, you could fall down to any number of possible destinations. But now, you're only falling back to this world, which is why you always emerge somewhere here, I guess, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Guess I can't really call it drifting anymore then, can I?
Fall.
What about the rope guy? Can you tell us any more about him?
I'd like to know that too. Is he the rogue figure we've heard rumors about in the other Lostbelts? The one who claims to be from Chaldea? Sorry, but I can't answer that. He made me promise not to. And I still owe him for giving me food and shelter for a night, so I can't go back on my word. I see.
Well, I'm still glad to know he helped you.
Right. He didn't he? We may not know who he is, but we do know he sent you here to help us. And if it's thanks to him that we were reunited, he must be...
He's got to be on Chaldea's side.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it'd be great if that turned out to be the case. Anyway, so Frost and Mash, there's something I want you to keep in mind. Yes, the Helix people who came here from Atlantis may all be gone now. But you still have allies here willing to risk their lives for you. So while it might feel like you're fighting all on your own sometimes, you're not. You may not be able to see it, but your homeworld of proper human history is still here to back you up.
Yeah, there's always been someone around to help us.
Hearing you say that is all the reassurance I need to know you'll be alright.
Fall.
Ah, Bo? Ah ha ha ha!
I see you're raring to go too, foe. That's the spirit. You're right. Motivation is the key to success, and we're gonna need all the motivation we can get so we can settle things once and for all. What? Does saying it out loud scare you? Don't worry, we can do this. You guys already took out 2 of the gods. But we only managed to do that because we had so many servants helping us. Not to mention, they had all enhanced their spirit urgings using the Olympian god's Dioscory. On top of all that, they had to risk everything they had, and even then, we were only just able to eke out a victor. This isn't good, Mash. You've been bit by the cowardice bug.
Huh? A cowardice bug?
Bugs like that need to be shaken up as soon as possible. So on that note, go ahead and orthodox up, Mash.
Huh?
Go on. No need to be modest.
Musashi, is this really a good idea?
Luckily, you can shake off the cowardice bug pretty easily just by getting in some exercise. Which means you're doing this too, whether you like it or not. That goes for you too, Mr. Detective. Don't think I don't see you watching over there?
Good grief. It would seem Eastern Samurai intuition, especially at a sword saint's level, is a frightening thing indeed.
Holmes, should you be up and about yet?
Oh yes, I'm quite alright, Miss Curie. In fact, I feel even lighter on my feet now than I did before we left the border. As far as I can tell, I've recovered the point that I may indeed engage in hand-to-hand combat once again. These medical nanomachines are truly marvelous things.
You found Demeter Cleonomia here too?
Correct. These Dioscory, a collective mass of microscopic authority, are named after Demeter, one of the goddesses of Greek mythology. Demeter is a goddess of fertility and deity who cultivates ambrosia, a food which grants immortality. According to the mythology of proper human history, she is best known for the tale of her beloved daughter's abduction. Persephone was abducted by Hades and made the queen of the underworld despite Demeter's desperate attempts to bring her back to Olympus.
Demeter Cleonomia? I remember seeing it once back at Atlantis, but...
True, but the Cleonomia that were being kept here are far more effective than the Cleonomia we saw in Atlantis. If we could bring some back with us to study later, I have no doubt we could.
Okay, no more questions. It's time for morning training. Don't worry, Surprise. You can have breakfast as soon as it's over.
Senpai?
Looks like there's no getting out of it.
Right. Understood. This morning training seems like it will be very different from the similar training I'm used to, but I'll do my best to adjust.
Very well, Miss Miyamoto, if you insist. But be warned, Baritsu is a highly versatile martial art. If you think your katana alone will grant you an easy victory, I would advise you to reconsider your tactics.
Oh ho! I see somebody remembered to bring their trash talk. Okay guys, come at me whenever you like. My void sword is ready and waiting.
Give me one moment. Let's see. So switching that.
Odori mashou.
じゃあこういうのどうだ？つまんない連中だな。他にじゃあこういうのどうだ？
ベル高らかになれ。ベルトリンコアンプル残念十分。治療を再開いたしましょう。
ではそろそろはい。痛みを与え嘆きを奏でるフェイルにこれが私のやつ。切り刻む。
よーしそこ狙うからそうですなんの
お手を拝借。こちらをどうぞ。
問題ありません。慣れておりますので。
ではそろそろ
投薬します。
痛みを与え嘆きを奏でるフェイルにこれが私のやつ。では鎮魂の曲を一つ。
Yeah, Tristan's the best. Okay. So it's the 3, 4, no battles, but the 5th one will be yes. I know, right? Food always tastes even better after a good workout. This food is amazing. I agree. At first glance, it doesn't appear to be anything special. There's bread, ham, salad, milk. Oh, the same kind of staples we've seen in all sorts of different times and places. And yet, for some reason, I can't put my finger on, everything here tastes completely different. Well, maybe not completely different. I mean, the bread is still bread, the ham is still ham, the milk is still milk, and so on. But from the moment you first take a bite, you can sense the flavors changing at least 3 times. And every single one of them is a breathtaking culinary experience. I know exactly what you mean. I had the same reaction the first time I went around sampling the local cuisine. While we still only see a small fraction of what Olympus has to offer, we now know that it is an enormous, highly advanced city with many tall skyscrapers, that its nanomachines guarantee its populace long, healthy lives. And that is incredible prosperity. Prosperity, I might add, that is independent of any sort of currency. Enables the peoples to devote themselves to art and academia, thereby further enriching its culture with no need for any kind of manual labor whatsoever. Their daily lives are happy affairs, praising the gods with bright smiles on their faces. War and combat are simply unknown to the people of Olympus. Well, except for where we are concerned. Yes, I see. There is no better word to describe this interstellar mountainous city of Olympus than utopia. Utopia? The sort of earthly paradise people have been dreaming of since time immemorial, I guess. Even the food here is simply sublime. The Chinese Lostbelt Empire was arguably the type of utopia as well. But its ideals were only achieved by concentrating its culture on a single point. Olympus, on the other hand, shares its wealth in every sense of the word, and all without any conflict whatsoever.
It really is a paradise beyond human achievement. I must say, even I don't know what proper human history could do against an opponent like this.
Hey, Holmes?
Yes?
Did you not notice Sopras and Mash had only just cheered up? Did you really have to rain on the parade like that? Besides, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter whether this place is a utopia, an amusement park, or a front for organized crime. You guys are from proper human history, which means this is a fight for your very survival. And the only way you guys are going to walk away from this alive is if you beat them before they beat you. Sopras, you're here on behalf of all proper human history. I know that isn't the kind of position you wanted, and that you didn't really get a choice, but there it is. And you've got enough in your udon bowl as it is without piling on extra toppings.
Perhaps, but all that being said, Miss Miyamoto,
Musashi,
thank you for worrying about us. I really do appreciate it.
But it's okay. We need to know who it is. We need to know who it is we're up against. We need to know who the people of the Lostbelt are, even if we are attempting to cut their world off from proper human history again. We already decided that it would be wrong to avert our eyes from the effects of our actions. Wait, is that what this is about? Right and wrong and stuff? Huh? Huh? I mean, the key to walking away from a battle alive is to keep things as simple as possible, right? It's all well and good to worry about your opponent's circumstances, your own moral code and stuff. But you have to be able to separate yourself from those things, because worrying about them in the heat of battle is only gonna help you lose. I mean, I'm not good for much except slicing folks up like some kind of human meat grinder, you know? So, any undue pressure about stuff not directly related to matters of life and death when I'm in the thick of enemy territory is the last thing I need.
I see. So your comments just now were not meant to consult Mr. Sopras and Miss Culet there, but rather...
Yeah, I just wanted to cut it out to make it easier for me to win. Basically, there's a time and a place for everything, and that includes thinking. I mean, yes, that's obviously true, and I do get your point, but... Haha, that's our Musashi. Exactly. Just take it easy. Can't win a fight if you're busy moping. Anyway, I'm sorry again for raining on our breakfast parade. Ah man, now my soup's all cold.
No need to apologize, Miss Miyamoto. I should have known better than to voice those thoughts at that time.
Hey, yeah, you were the one who rained on this parade in the first place, not me.
Now that you mention it, I suppose I wasn't I? I do beg your pardon.
Is that all you've got to say for yourself? Please go easy on him, Musashi.
What in the world are you all doing at this hour?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to disturb you. Oh, and thank you for breakfast. It was absolutely scrumptious.
Breakfast? Ah, I see. That wasn't me. The twins made it for you.
Twins? Let's see.
You mean the two people who rescued us yesterday? That's right. Though I doubt you saw their faces at the time. Why don't you two come out already? This is your base of operations now, isn't it?
I'm glad to hear you like the food. Were you able to get enough to rest last night?
We slept great, thank you.
Oh, good. I never had guests before, so I wasn't sure if I did a, good job or not.
Never mind that now, sister.
Aww.
For the time being, it looks like you're all at the point where you can talk again. I'm glad to see the Cleonomius working. I wasn't sure if it would fit your spirit urging or not. Indeed it did, and I am greatly obliged for your help.
Cleonomia?
You? Cleonomia? Don't be ridiculous. It'd be one thing if you'd undergone biomodifications like the elite soldiers, but there's no way Cleonomia could ever be compatible with the normal human from proper human history. No, all I did for you was cast a light healing spell, since you didn't have more than a few scratches.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oh,
So there, visitors from proper human history. Well, I guess that doesn't really apply to all of you, but anyway.
You must mean me!
I'm Macarios, and this is my older sister, Adele.
it's very nice to meet all of you.
We're the God Destroyer Alliance, or at least what's left of it.
I'm Sophraj.
I'm Ashkula.
I'm Miyamoto Musashi, Wandering Servant.
How about you in the herd?
I have nothing to do with those twins. Introducing myself would... Okay. I have nothing to do with those twins. Introducing myself now will only complicate things.
You don't say. Okay then, who's your owl friend?
Who? Oh,
All the gods of Olympus are machines. A mechanical owl shouldn't exactly be a shock.
If you say so.
Adele, Macarios. Thank you again for saving us yesterday. I don't know what we would have done without you. Are you, both from Olympus?
yes, that's right. We're both official Olympus residents. We had citizen numbers and permanent ration cards, and we live our lives by the grace of the gods' blessings and protection. But the truth is...
Not now, sister. Save it for later. They need to know what's going on before we tell them about us.
Macarios,
I said no. It's still too soon to tell them about us. Besides, Chaldeans, I'm sure there's someone else you all rather be talking to.
oh,
Voice recording for Chaldea, pattern B2. Alright, where to begin? For the time being, I've entered all the information we possess into this base data processing unit. It's embedded with a simple artificial personality program, so it can answer most questions you might have. That concludes the video portion of the introduction of the instructions. Okay, I'll let the artificial personality take it from here. There, I think that should do it.
Activation complete. From here on, I, the artificial intelligence, will do the talking. Yes, the picture remains the same, but get over with it. The image is a recreation made by recycling existing video footage. An AI, eh? I suppose that shouldn't surprise me from one of the greatest scientific minds among the Helix spirits.
Don't forget, you can always switch to me if you don't care for the half-witted eccentric persona.
You can also switch to me if you prefer. I can't do anything Mahatma related though. Sorry, I can't be more help. Anyway, hi there, Chaldeans. It's nice to meet you all.
Yelena. So the servants who left these recordings for us weren't summoned to Chaldea, nor are they ones we met in any of the singularities. Rather, they're all Helix spirits from proper human history who were summoned here to this Lostbelt.
Edison might be an exception.
Yes, good point. Thomas Edison's lion-head spirit origin only came about in the fifth singularity, so he should still remain his memories of us, just like Johnny Alter.
Alright, let's begin with the basic of Olympus. Your opponents here are, in a word, gods.
That was me. I decided to pause the AI for a bit. Before you hear any more, I wanted to warn you that you guys will probably...
you'll probably be shocked by what they have to say. It might even be enough to make you despair completely.
Some of the Helix spirits that made it here only stuck around long enough to say nobody could win against gods. So I just want to make sure you're ready for what comes next.
We are.
Right, we can't do anything if we don't know what we're up against. So please, Macarios, Adele, let us see the rest.
First, let's begin with the gods. The gods of Olympus. The rulers of this Lostbelt are genuine deities that have existed since the Age of Gods. Those deities, including the ones you may have seen in Atlantis, are beings who came here from far, far across the universe. I trust Macarios and Adele are there as well. They, like all residents of Olympus, refer to the gods as thus. Deities who came here across the Sea of Stars, the Great Ones. The descendants of primordial chaos, the great system of prosperity who bear the Cronus crown. And of course, the 12 Olympian machine gods.
The Sea of Stars? We knew that these machine gods were interstellar weapons, but this is way bigger than I was expecting. I mean, huh? So, hang on. Let me just make sure I've got this straight. You said these are super ancient gods who came here across the Sea of Stars, right? So then, that would make them space aliens, right?
How?
Not quite. It would not be entirely accurate to refer to them merely as intelligent life forms from another planet. Based on everything we now know, it seems they are more akin to machines from an extremely advanced civilization. One that may reside outside our galaxy, or at the far ends of our universe, or in an entirely different universe altogether.
Yes, that's more or less correct.
Huh? I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be a lot more taken aback. Why aren't you?
I am, believe me. Well, after Atlantis, I had a feeling there'd be something like that.
I see.
Alright, now should be a good time to proceed. Next, I have more information about the gods for you. From this point onward, I will be telling you how this Lostbelt differs from probably human history and at what point in time it diverged. First of all, how did these gods originally come to be? The first gods were born from primordial chaos, and eventually, the younger generation fought the Titanomachia, the first Great War. Titanomachia, I guess. Up until this point, the world was largely the same as it was depicted in the midst of proper human history. The Titanomachia was a war between the Titans, the gods of the old generation, and Olympus, the gods of the new.
As I recall, Zeus defeated his own father, Cronus, the king of the Titans, and in doing so, he gained control over the rest of the pantheon.
The gods of Olympus won that war, and Zeus became omnipotent as a result.
Omnipotent?
Then there was a second Machia. This one took place roughly 14,000 years ago. During this war, also known as the Leucus Machia, the gods of the Olympus did battle with an enemy that threatened the entire world. Unfortunately, details pertaining to this event are scarce. Not only was it not recorded in proper human history, most citizens of Olympus know very little about it. However, my distinguished colleagues, what we can say for sure is that we are certain this is the point where the Lostbelt diverged from proper human history.
How?
The Third Great War, the Giganot.
Okay. The Gigantonot. Okay. Let me drink it.
The Third War Great, the Gigantomachia, a battle against the enormous Gigantes that took place about 3,500 years ago, serves as further evidence of that divergence. In proper human history, this Machia was the second and final Great War of Greek mythology. In a version of probably human history, the gods of Olympus, aided by human heroes, eventually succeeded at vanquishing the mighty gigantes. I think the great hero Helix even played a part, if I'm not mistaken. But in this Lostbelt, the gods eradicated every last gigant in an instant. Okay, the gods eradicate every last gigant in an instant. How did they accomplish such a feat? By preserving the machine god bodies, which in proper human history had long since faded away, I presume. Exactly! The Olympian gods used their original machine god bodies to obliterate the gigantes all at once. At least, that is our working theory. In probably human history, the gods' machine bodies were lost long ago. But here in this Lostbelt, the gods were somehow able to retain them. The result is a very Atlantic Lostbelt in which we now find ourselves. A world ruled by machine gods who still possess their once lost mechanical bodies.
So then, in proper human history, the gods of Olympus were meant to lose their machine bodies between 14,000 and 3,500 years ago.
So it would seem.
But here the gods remain alive as well. And as long as these mechanical gods from beyond our universe have their original bodies, they are not even affected by the deterioration of the age of gods that was meant to occur.
That brings us to the fourth and final, Machia. As with the second, this one also has no equivalent in proper human history. It is peculiar to this Lostbelt. A few thousand years ago, the gods of Olympus split into two factions. Their conflict revolved around what to do about humans, whether to rule over them or to coexist alongside them. This schism led to a fierce disagreement between the gods. Zeus, Demeter, Aphrodite, Hera, and Artemis wanted to rule, while Athena, Hades, Poseidon, Apollo, Hestia, Ares, and Hephaestus wanted to coexist. We believe Poseidon initially sided with the rulers, but that he eventually ended up defecting to the other faction. Gods on each side enlisted loyal lesser gods as the disagreement devolved into full-blown war. This battle went on to be called the Olympia Machia, or the Great War of Olympus, as it's known in Atlantis. Both sides fought fiercely, and the remains of the mechanical gods who were killed fell to Artemis, Atlantis, where they formed islands. In the end, the faction supporting rule over humans was victorious, and the opposition survivors were punished. For example, Poseidon, the sea god. His divine code was rewritten, reducing him to little more than an automated defense unit to protect the Great Pit. And that brings us to today. The gods who emerged triumphant in all four Machia continue to rule this Lostbelt, with the city of Olympus as the capital. Today, there are 5 gods who reside within Olympia Dodana, the great orbital shrine that makes up the center of the city. Zeus, the omnipotent god of the heavens. Europa, the divine queen who fused with the goddess Hera. Demeter, the goddess of the land. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. And finally, the Dioscory, the ancient twin gods. The Dioscory.
Not now, Macarios. Not now.
Technically, the twin gods of Dioscory are a divine spirit, which makes them neither living gods nor mechanical ones. They died once and were transformed into a divine spirit. Who killed them, you ask? I wish I could say it was God Destroyer Alliance, but it wasn't. No, their killer was the cryptic Kristaria Wudai. A mage, a human mage, killed a guard. After that, Kushtarya formed a contract with the Dioscory, making them his servant. To be clear, he did not summon the divine spirit form from the throne of heroes. He formed a contract with genuine gods after they have been killed and reduced to divine spirit. The Dioscory are not among the Dioscory are not among of the 12 Olympians, but they are no mere lesser god either. They are one of the ancient gods who accepted Zeus as their supreme being. To be precise, they are divinity that have been around since before the Gigantomachia. From what we've been able to gather, they joined the pantheon by imbibing of Zeus' divine blood, his Cleonomia. They are now considered children of Zeus, with standing equal to Apollo in his glory days. And Kushtarya will die. Managed to kill them. Hard to believe, isn't it? If only it really was as bad a joke as it sounds. They should have just stayed dead. Them, a divine spirit. What a load of crap! The Dioscory are deranged. They don't deserve to be spirits, let alone gods. Huh?
But please forgive my brother. He swore an oath to the late Athena that he would one day take revenge on the twin gods for the murder of our 100-odd fellow Alliance members.
The Dioscory are bloody thirsty maniacs! Death incarnate! Human killers! They killed almost all of the humans who joined the God Destroyer Alliance!
There are only a few members left now, including us.
That must have been really hard for you.
Oh,
Well, Chaldeans? Why are you acting like that? Aren't you scared? We're up against murderous gods. Gods who actually enjoy going out of their way to slaughter people. And if that isn't bad enough, there's another guy out there strong enough to make them his flunkies. Just the idea that you might have any chance of beating them is absurd. Yeah, it's absurd. We know some of the Helix spirit gave up and walked away when they found out how the Gigantomachia ended. So what about you guys? What's your deal? Does the fact that you guys aren't more faced mean your world, probably human history, isn't even more messed up than ours?
Stop that, Macarios! That's no way to speak to people we just met.
Oh. Sorry, everyone. I got a little out of hand there. But please, it's fine. Really, I don't blame you for being taken aback. We've encountered so many different threats by now that I suppose our reactions might seem strange. Gods from another universe. Mechanical gods with threatening powers. Twin gods who enjoy taking lives. Kushtarya, who's strong enough to make those gods of his servants. Every last of them is a tremendous threat. Threats that we may very well not be able to deal with. And these revelations are shocking for us. It's tempting to despair in the face of such overwhelming odds. But all that being said, we still have a job to do. Okay, I think I get it now. Yeah, that's it. I get what you guys are like now. You're just how Edison said you'd be. He was right after all. So you Chaldeans really are just a pack of weirdos, huh? Well, nothing wrong with that. You've convinced me. I like you guys. So you get it now, huh? That's great. They really are weirdos, aren't they? What the hell are you? Don't jump on us. What are you, some kind of squirrel?
Look, Macarios, I think he likes you. Oh, fool!
Hey, get away from my sister! Holy shit, that is such a long talk. About 30 minutes right there. But the next one, I probably think is another half an hour. Weirdos, huh? Yes, that's the right way to think about them, Macarios. They're all hopeless weirdos. That's been the case in every Lostbelt so far, too. Though that's not to say that means they'll be able to accomplish the same thing here.
What are you talking about? You're only here because the collaborator sent you, right? So where do you get off acting like you know so much about Chaldea? Collaborator?
That's what we call the person who's been so kindly aiding our God Destroyer alliance. We don't know their true identity either, but they've been a big help to us, especially with procuring supplies for combat. We were told that the collaborator sent this hooded man here to help us, but... Say, you're in a hurry. You are on our side, right?
Of course. I am for now, at least. Otherwise, I would have let the gods do what they wanted with you. I am acquaintance of this collaborator you speak of, and, on second thought, that's enough for now.
Excuse me. I apologize if I'm way off the mark with this, but are you Kadak Semlupus?
Then, after Rasputin snatched him away?
I'll spare you the details of this particular exercise in deduction, but suffice to say, I am something of an expert when it comes to disguises. Well, Sir Herd, did we get it right? Kadok! What? Do you guys know each other or something?
Oh my. Does this mean you're part of Chaldea too?
Me? Part of Chaldea? You gotta be. Oh, forget it. Just hell no! Damn it. Homes I get. But how the actual hell did you see through my disguise, Mash? I was using the disguise spell and everything.
I'm sorry. Well, what are you apologizing for? It's not like you did anything wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. Kadok, you saved our lives. Saved you? I only bailed you out because it would have been a waste to let you die back there. Far as I'm concerned, you're nothing more than pawns I can use to throw Olympus off balance, just like you did in Russia. So I'm gonna use you guys to further my own agenda. That's the only reason I bailed you out. It's not like you even have a snowball's chance in hell of winning here anyway. Between Zeus, Wodan, and the foreign gods' alter egos, you guys are hilariously outclassed. That's why I don't have to bother trying to kill you myself.
Huh?
Kadok, as a former member of Team A myself, I'm
not part of Team A anymore. I'm a crypto now. Hell, maybe I'm not even that anymore.
Does this mean you are not acting with or on behalf of the cryptos here, Kadak Semlupus?
Hell no. I don't have the slightest idea what Wodan's thinking. He went out of his way to have Rasputin get me, but he never told me why. You may have lost your Russian Lostbelt, but that doesn't mean you need to enter another crypto service. You can keep your serious light too. You're a free man, Kadok. All I want you to do in this Atlantic Lostbelt is whatever you see fit. Is that your idea of a joke? 'Cause if not, it doesn't make any sense. Aren't you the one who sent Rasputin to get me off the shadow border? That was entirely the priest's decision. I have no right to give the foreign gods disciples orders. As for why he saved you, your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps he only wished to prevent you from leaking information. Yeah, well, there's not much I could have told them besides which crypto was where. None of us have any idea what their Tree of Emptiness are actually made of, or who the foreign god really is, after all. Of course not. The foreign god couldn't care less about any of you, after all. The foreign god isn't going to tell you anything, nor do they expect anything from you. They couldn't care less if you lived or died. Whereas the same cannot be said for me, as my every action carries the weight of the grandest expectations. Is that so? Well, excuse the hell out of me for being a third-rate mage. Huh? That's weird. What was that long silence about? It's fine, Kadok. Just get some rest for now. We won't have to worry about Chaldea for the time being. Canis has told me they've made their way to Scandinavia, but there's nothing we can do about them from here. So my only orders for you are to go about and see Olympus for yourself. And you actually think I can live up to your expectations? Even after the total mess of things I made in Russia? I'm not the one who can decide whether or not you'll do that, Kadok. You are. He might as well not have told me anything at all, for all the difference it would have made. So now, I'm doing whatever the hell I want, just like he asked. That's part of why I'm here. I'm gonna uncover the truth behind Zeus and what Woldheim's really thinking.
Oh, and what do you mean by that last part?
I don't actually care what's going on in that head of his, but it's not like I've got anything else to do. So I'm gonna show that stuck-up aristocrat that things aren't always going to go his way. It's gonna go his way, I guess, yeah.
Oh, what's this now? Goodness, it's been so long since I've seen your face in person. I think the last time must have been back then, when you tore those poor Dioscory twins apart. Cursed Tarja will die.
Good day, Lady Demeter, goddess of the land. Indeed, it has been a long time, hasn't it? It seems your memory partition is functioning properly, at least in regards to me.
Oh my, how terrifying. That sounds as though you could destroy our true Electia bodies wherever you... Okay. That sounds as though you could destroy our true Electia bodies whenever you like. Ah, Cursed Tarja Woldheim, a dreadful human capable of killing us single-handedly. You're quite a problem child, aren't you? It saddens me so, particularly since I think of you as my own son.
Demeter, mournful goddess of the land, mother of the beautiful Persephone who inherited much of Gaia's disposition. I urge you to share your boundless motherly love with humans other than myself. I have no need of it.
Oh my. But there can be no children without mothers, nor can children grow without love and nourishment. Gods and humans are the same in this respect. Humans! This new intelligent species still barely older than a newborn babe. This precious, fragile intelligence we met on this planet. I love you all truly. I love you as though you were my own children. And I love you too, Cursed Tarja.
In the same way you love Persephone, I guess, yeah.
Why, yes! You know, Zeus is absolutely right. There's nothing that brings a mother like me more joy than to see her children grow up strong and happy. Which is why there's nothing I wouldn't do to make that happen. I would take an arrow for my children. I would gladly give up my body, my life, and my Electia for them, truly.
Then I would take you at your word, Demeter, and trust that you truly bear a mother's love. As a matter of fact, Zeus' ideas of restoration of mythology are closer to your own notions than to mine.
Cursed Tarja, what are you saying? Do you mean that Olympus, the heart of Lostbelt, do you mean that Olympus, the heart of our Lostbelt, is not the ideal you seek?
Of course it is. We only differ when it comes to our endpoints. You see, I believe that the gods should be even stronger than they are now. Now, let me tell you one more thing. This is the single most important piece of information about the gods of Olympus I have to share. The king of this Lostbelt is Zeus, an all-powerful god who naturally still possesses his original mechanical body. He has existed ever since the Age of Gods, just like Dioscory from the Scandinavian Lostbelt.
It looks like this is information we already knew.
Zeus, an omnipotent god who has continued to exist for millennia. If we are to take this omnipotent nature at face value, then we will seem to be well and truly outmatched. And yet, Mr. AI, I cannot imagine that the electricity expert whose visage you now borrow
would waste his time challenging an opponent whom he truly has no hope of defeating.
Ha 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 ha! You cut right to the heart of things, don't you? Still, I can hardly blame you for interrupting, Mr. Holmes. You have every right to be concerned. And you're correct. Your hope of defeating Zeus is small. Perhaps even infinitesimal. But it does exist. Zeus is indeed almighty, but he is not truly omnipotent.
Huh?
Almighty, but not omnipotent?
So, if I understand you correctly, then while he does rule over many things, he doesn't technically rule over absolutely everything.
You catch on quickly. Yes, that's exactly right. As king of the gods, Zeus possesses authority over infinite things, but conceptually, he does not possess infinite authority. We believe that Zeus turned into a nigh omnipotent god by synchronizing all of the Titans' authority with his own, followed by the many lesser gods' authority, and ultimately, even his fellow 12 Olympians' authority. That much, at least, would seem to be a matter of little doubt. But conceptually, he is not truly omnipotent, and so does not have control over all things and beings in this world. At least, that's our working theory.
I see. Do you happen to have anything to support that theory?
Of course, the very alliance base you're standing in right now. Of course, the very alliance base you're standing in right now.
The underground infrastructure.
Precisely. A truly omnipotent being would have known about villains like us lurking underground the instant we set foot in here. And yet, he has no awareness of this underground infrastructure. This was the domain of Hades, his fellow god, and he doesn't even bother to look at it. From this, we can surmise that the gods of Olympus are conceptual deities, like those from other mythologies, and simultaneously that they depend on kleonomia, their authority-like functionality, from the enormous mechanical bodies they use as ships to cross the sea of stars. That is where our chance of defeating Zeus lies. For if we are up against a nigh omnipotent king of gods with authority over infinite things, rather than a truly omnipotent god, then you should have a chance, however minuscule, of defeating him.
Thank you, Mr. AI. This has been both informative. And hope-inspiring.
Alright, let's get back to business. Though that said, the only business that remains is the information we have pertaining to Zeus, the omnipotent king of gods, head of the 12 Olympians and victor of all Fort Machia, has formed a contract with Kushtaria as his equal. Well, bet you had no idea about that, did you?
You mean Kushtaria formed a contract not with a divine spirit, but a god? But that shouldn't even be possible. Granted, there's no way to test that for sure given that gods don't exist in our own time. But theoretically speaking, forming a contract as equals is... Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I've got all this straight. You're saying this Kushtaria guy formed a contract not with a divided spirit, but with an actual god, right? And not just any god, but the Damai urge that's as big a deal as the Vairocana?
Full marks, Miss Miyamoto. In fact, from an esoteric Buddhist perspective, it was a truly perfect answer.
That's right. Zeus is neither a divine spirit that returned to nature, nor a divided spirit. He is a proper, almighty god. And Kushtaria Wudam has formed a contract with him. It puts him on completely equal footing with Zeus as his sworn friend, no less.
Holy cow! That's the kind of mate you guys have been up against.
That's right. Not that we managed to stand against him for very long. Wodan's been clear about his goal from the beginning. We are about to fill this world with inhuman mystic secret. We will restore the Age of Gods. And if this Atlantic Lostbelt ends up becoming the new proper timeline, that goal pretty much be fulfilled. He formed a contract with Zeus to be certain this Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness would grow bigger as soon as possible. But even with all that said, there's something that doesn't add up. A Lostbelt needs its Tree of Emptiness to maintain its existence, but that doesn't change the fact that, as far as that Lostbelt's king is concerned, that Tree of Emptiness is something strange and entirely foreign. But Zeus had no problem with this. I'm sure he and Wodan came to some kind of secret agreement about it. But at this point, I can't see what their endgame could be. Keep that football away from me, would ya? I never liked it even while I was at Chaldea. Easy there, Bo. It's okay. Phew. Alright, Mash. This is the last thing I have to tell you. If you want to see Wodan, you can find him in a great orbital shrine, Olympia Dodana. That's where you'll find Zeus too. Where are you going? Okay. Where are you going to go now, Kadok? Who cares? It's none of your business. Huh. Alright, that's it for me. I'm getting out of here. I've said everything I wanted and gotten everything I needed out of being the collaborators' lackey. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. That really depends on you guys. Kadok! See you around, Mash. Just make sure you don't stick with the losing team there for too long. You felt for yourself how strong those gods were, right? Well, Zeus and Wodan are even stronger. If I were you, Chaldeans, I'd take a good, long think about how you want to spend the rest of your lives. If you do survive long enough, make sure you go see Wodan. You know, I thought I'd tail him for a bit to see where he's going. But he lost me pretty quickly. Too bad. Man, turning invisible, and then a rapid movement ability is a hell of a speed combo. It might not technically be teleportation, but it sure feels like it. Maybe he's using talismans and mystic codes this Kristalia gave him for something. You were tailing Kadok just now? Well, of course! How could I not after he tried to run off like that?
Incidentally, I attempted to tell him as well, with equally dismal results. I suppose we should have known he wouldn't make it that easy for us. That being said, I believe the information Kadok and Lupus shared with us is trustworthy enough to use in determining our next course of action. After all, he would have little reason to lie to us except for personal revenge. Well, while he certainly has cause to desire vengeance on us, taking into account for his manner of speech, facial expressions, tone of voice, and what he told us.
We get it. We get it. Enough with the deduction shtick already. Basically, we have to make our way to Kristalia just like Kadok said, right? And eventually, you guys have to cut down this Tree of Emptiness these insanely powerful super beings are defending. Boy, talk about playing on hard mode. This is going to be a fun challenge. Aww. Since this collaborator person is good enough to support this underground society here, I figured it'd make our lives a lot easier if I could make a contact with them. But it looks like that's not happening anytime soon. So, what's our next step? Great Orbital Shrine Olympia Dodana. If that enormous floating building is acting as the gods in Kristalia's base of operations, then our next step should be figuring out how we're going to get to it.
We could try to get there in the border through a series of zero sails. But even if Zeus Thunderbolt somehow missed us while we were preparing,
It wouldn't take long for the other gods and soldiers to overwhelm us with sheer force of numbers.
There we go. Did you just do something, Macarios?
oh, that? I was just defrosting something.
Like frozen food or something?
So, proper human history has frozen foods too, huh? I never knew that. But this isn't food, it's something way better. So, Frost, we'd like to officially ask you to join the God Destroyer Alliance. We want you to come fight with us.
You want to go to the Great Orbital Shrine, right? And you also need to cut down the Chief Emptiness Magellan. That's okay. And you also need to cut down the Chief Emptiness Magellan that's even farther up past it, right? Then we should be able to help you with both goals. We have ways of traveling through airspace here. Furthermore,
The Great Orbital Shrine is the God's throne. It's forbidden for humans to set foot in there. They won't let you in without a fight. But then, you're gonna have to fight the gods anyway.
I'd love for you two to fight with us.
We will. Magellan. Another galaxy name. Though I had suspected as much.
we'd be honored to help you. Oh, I just had a thought. Why don't we take this occasion to celebrate?
Oh, by celebration, do you mean yummy food?
That's right. I made a pretty simple breakfast, but for a special occasion like this.
Sister. Sorry to interrupt, but I need to use this thing while it's still freshly defrosted.
Huh? Oh, I see. Yes, you do, don't you?
So, no yummy food just yet, huh? Bummer.
Oh yeah. The thing you defrosted. What was it you were defrosting anyway?
It's something you might have seen before. Here it comes.
The floor just opened up, and something huge is coming up from underneath it.
Oh,
Huh? It looks just like the hostile entities we encountered in Atlantis a number of times.
It's a steel chimera, an autonomous weapon made out of high-purity cleonomia. It used to serve the gods, but after Edison and Tesla made a number of adjustments to it, and Miss Blavatsky casting a spell to tame it now listens to us. It does a very good job too. Nemia, set!
as you can see, it's now this Alliance-based trusty guardian. So, next up, we're going to use it to see how strong you guys are. I trust you're okay with that?
Yep, figured something like this was coming. Oh, oh no, you don't. Where'd all that big talk from earlier go, huh? Sure you're not going... Oh my god, Musashi. Where'd all that big talk from earlier go, huh? Sure you're not about to say your Boritsu is no match for a little demonic beast, are you?
Of course it is. I said Boritsu was a highly versatile martial art, and I stand by that. But that doesn't mean using it to fight a creature like this isn't quite simply a pain in the posterior. Like this isn't quite simply a pain in the posterior. You two really get along, huh? Anyway, we can back you guys up with artillery mystic codes, but we don't know that much when it comes to sword fighting.
It's true. So we were hoping we could count on all of you to handle the melee combat, if you don't mind.
Hey, you'll be fine, right, Mash? I mean, you got that giant shield and everything.
Me? You heard him, Mash. Battle precisions.
Right, Master.
Just, give me a few minutes, please. If you all wouldn't mind. Emergency transformation complete. Setting output to 17, okay, 70,
Okay, 70. Setting output to 70%. Preparing to intercept combat training target.
「視力を尽くしてくるがいい」
じゃあこういうのどうだつまんない連中だな他にあるじゃあこういうのどうだ
逃がしはしない正面から受けて立つ総員突撃準備
ロミオの悲嘆リア王の受難
これはいいではい束ねるの星の息吹輝ける命の本流受けるがいい X カイバー
これでも勝ちは勝ちだよなうん
That was easy. That's enough! Okay, Nima. You can rest now. The steel chimeras are going back into their underground storage hangar. The battle is over, Master. Sure. I never would have thought the chimera would divide itself like that. Is it just me, Miss Miyamoto? Or were you not taking this especially? Is it just me, Miss Miyamoto? Or were you not taking this especially seriously? Looks like you guys really are strong. You've obviously had a lot of experience fighting up close. That means you ought to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Royal Guard. But it's still not enough to beat the gods. So we're going to use Tesla, Edison, and Blavatsky's parting gifts.
That's right. They left us a number of machines and a few different plans of attack to use. These God-slaying blades are the best tools the God Destroyer Alliance can offer you.
Adele, you're hurt.
Huh? Oh, this? I guess I might have gotten hit when Nemia's shard went flying. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
She's bleeding from her right arm. We have to stop it. It's okay. She'll be fine. In fact, this is a good chance to show you something. Just stand back and watch. Your injury is healing itself.
It still hurts, but the wound is gone now. By tomorrow, there won't be a trace of pain left. So it's really okay. You don't have to worry. Oh.
You can burn us, shatter us, tear us apart. It doesn't matter. We'll always go back to our perfect forms.
That's right. We never change, no matter what happens to us. Any injury we suffer heals itself. That's how we've been remade.
Thanks to Ambusia, the Demeter Cleonomia they regularly give us to maintain our bodies. No citizen of Olympus will ever get sick. We're practically immortal now. No one can die. No one can kill. The gods are the only exception. They're the only ones with the power to kill us. Huh? I'm sorry. I think I may have misheard you a moment ago. Did you just say you were practically, immortal? Yes, Miss Cure, he did indeed say that. I presume that means that as long as the gods' authority remains, you and the other people of Olympus will even come back from death.
That's right.
Come back from death. Immortality. The one thing humanity has continued to long for since time immemorial, the ultimate goal of countless technologies, not to mention magecraft, and here is just a fact of life. Just how advanced Olympian civilization, just how advanced is Olympian civilization compared to ours? So every injury anyone gets healed automatically, and they never even have to fear death. It's damn impressive, that's for sure. I can't even imagine what it would be like to live like that.
I knew the city had achieved long, healthy lives for its citizenry. I knew the city had achieved long, healthy lives for its citizenry, but I never would have thought it also found a way to bring them back from death. Never mind Utopia. This place would seem to be more akin to heaven, our collective idea of a blissful life after death. It almost strikes me as a calculated plan to forcefully evolve all of humanity into the realm of gods. Good gracious, I can only imagine the look on Qin Shi Huang's face if they were to hear about this.
So, if Olympians can even come back from death, does that mean that soldier we fought is still alive?
Right, now that you mention it. That reserve soldier we fought first, That reserve soldier we first fought after the alarm was sounded
he was dead. I killed him myself. But now that you mention it, there was something strange about it. Even after I dealt the killing blow, I didn't feel as if I'd really won. I guess him not actually dying would explain it.
He didn't die. None of us can be killed here. Inflicting death is a power only the gods have. By this point, that soldier will have come back to life and started thinking up ways to get his revenge. While we're on the subject, I might as well tell you this too. Even if we stop taking ambrosia, like me and sister have, the cleonomia inside our bodies will continue to function. So we'll always be like this, forever. Forever? Huh? That's right, forever. Immortality is, well, eternal. Ever since that day the gods bestowed ambrosia on us eons ago, we've always looked exactly like this.
You mean you don't age either? So you don't just have eternal life, don't you? Yeah, this one. I remember that regular show where Skips, he has immortality.
Alright. We've been alive for a long time. A very, very long time. We'll never reach adulthood. We both stopped growing long ago. The adults are all happy that we're still children. They say children are weak and should be protected, so we should just let them and the gods take care of us, and be grateful for it. Never mind that we passed adult age a long time ago.
Now I see. While many Olympians may be fine with the enforced stagnation, the two of you are not. And while the gods may have succeeded at preserving happiness at the level of society, it seems they were unable to extend their control to individual emotions. Truly fascinating. Very well, that at least makes clear why you two have chosen to rebel against the gods and assist us. But before we go any further, there's one thing I would like to confirm with you.
That's right.
Fine with me. As you know, we are from Chaldea, a group of beings from proper human history. Our victory here would mean the end of this entire Lostbelt. Do you understand what that means? If we succeed at cutting down this tree of emptiness, everything here, Olympus, the gods, and all the many people, including you two, will disappear. No exceptions. Even knowing that, do you still wish to fight by our side? Okay, even knowing that, do you still wish to fight by our side?
Aww.
Yeah, we do.
We don't need to keep living the same day over and over forever. We want to see a new tomorrow.
Even if it means we end up dying for it.
Oh no. Please, don't be sad, Mash. We spent an entire century thinking this through from every possible angle. And this is what we decided. We want to see tomorrow. A real tomorrow. A day that's different from the one that came before. Something more than just another today. We've already lived more than enough for countless lifetimes. Do you have any idea how old I am?
Well, I remember everyone in Atlantis had a lifespan of at least a few hundred years. So I would guess maybe twice that? Or several times?
A few hundred years, huh? The gods' protection must have worn pretty thin for them. I'm jealous.
Back during the fourth Machia, we were actually supposed to go to Atlantis ourselves. Along with all the other people who supported the faction that wanted coexistence between gods and humans. But what happened was...
we missed the last boat. And we'll never have another chance, since the gods don't allow any of us to leave the city.
Well, hold up. The fourth Machia was the war between the gods. Didn't that happen something like several thousand years ago? So, you guys are saying you're a few thousand years old?
No, we're not. I'd say we've been alive for about 10,000 years.
Huh? That's right. 10,000 years plus a few centuries. 10,000?
Huh?
Damn.
We're citizens of Olympus. We're the gods' beloved playthings, kept in their eternal cradle. Ever since the day the gods built this city, we've been stuck living here forever.
That's right. For over 10,000 years. We've been forced to live millions upon millions of versions of essentially the same day. Never getting to set one foot outside the city's limits. Never getting to grow or to change.
For 10,000 years, we've been utterly stagnant.
Damn. Such a long time, man. Ortonox refurbished. Okay, so she's not wearing a visor anymore. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink for more. Alright, I'm back. Let me turn it on. 14,000 years. Choo-choo-doo. Yeah, longer than that usual. It was like 10,000 years ago. They still survived and being as an immortality power. Man, I feel bad for these two. They just don't want to like live like this forever. Interstellar Mountainous City Olympus. Great Orbital. Shrine Olympia Dodana. The center of its operations.
A revelation is upon us. A revelation is upon us. Now is the time of revelation. He is all-powerful Justic, the direct heir of primordial chaos, and ruler of all things. He is the one who should keep all of humanity safe. He is the one who should rightfully rule over all worlds. He is the wielder of the great thunderbolts capable of shattering even Adama's sky thing. None less than the authorities of Gaia and the Melier bow to his will. He is the great Demiurge, the one who wields the Cronus crown for all eternity. Now, behold the words of the almighty Zeus!
Damn. There is work to be done. I command you by my name, Demeter, goddess of the land, who grants the vast earth an abundant harvest, and my own flesh and blood. You are to eradicate the Chaldeans who lurk within my city. I permit you to use your Alethea in every district of Olympus. May your piercing shriek shatter the bones of the enemies that threaten our world.
As you wish, Almighty Zeus. Your will is my command. These Chaldean demons strike fear into the very hearts of our citizens. And as the citizens of Olympus may as well be my own children, my duty as a mother is clear. I shall use every power and authority at my disposal to eradicate them. I swear on my beloved Persephone.
What a lovely oath by a lovely goddess. I'm touched. Truly. I see. So you have sworn this oath on your precious daughter, Lady Persephone. Then heavenly Zeus will be certain to be fulfilled, no matter who may try to stand in its way. Forgive me, king of the gods, but may I offer a word of advice? As nice as it is to see my alter ego colleague and fellow foreign god Dissipate Limbo so overcome with emotion, that is not why we are here. Might there be any room for us to join her on this mission? Your help is not needed. I have no orders for the likes of you, Dissipate. Well, that's a pity. It seems we still have yet to fully earn your trust. May I say something, father?
Yes, father. May big brother say something?
While I do have my concerns about sending Demeter out on this mission, I am happy to abide by your judgment if this is what you think is best. That being said, there is one thing I would like to ask. Please, tell me. Why did you place such a curse on that sage of proper human history? Oh? So you noticed that, Castor. Child of old in whose veins runs my blood. Very well then, I shall tell you. That sage is a prime example of the very worst of humanity. Thus he does not deserve to be met with the full wrath of my lightning. I trust you can understand that. Father, if I may say one more thing, why did you not strike him dead on the spot?
Big brother!
And why do you even permit Chaldea's submarine to disembark on our holy land? If you had only used your true great thunderbolts, their entire ship would be...
Enough, Castor. You may be Almighty Zeus' child, but that does not give you license to speak to him however you like. Remember, you are in the presence of the King of the Gods.
It's alright. I forgive your transgression, Castor, and I admit, your words possess an element of truth. Indeed, I am all-powerful. If I wished, I could have easily reduced them all to dust. However, there is one thing you must never forget. If I were to use the true strength of my great thunderbolts, they would demolish the city and obliterate the populace. Not even Demeter's regenerative gift would be able to bring them back. We must protect the city. We must protect the populace. For ever since the second Machia 14,000 years ago, the day we obtained the Cronus crown, we have ceased to be a fleet of mechanical arcs crossing the sea of stars, and have become gods.
14,000 years ago, huh?
I take it your divine revelation's over then. That must be quite tiring for you, king of the gods. Especially since merely keeping Olympus running must take at least 90% of your resources. I can't tell you how sorry I am for letting these Chaldeas insects slip inside. I could say the same to you, Woldime. You have nothing to apologize for. You entrusted Canis with the task of stopping as I did with Odysseus. Both failed. Indeed, Chaldea surpassed both our exceptions. Revising our estimation of them is more than sufficient. I see. I don't know what to say. Hearing you say that to me, a mere human, makes me feel I have even less of a leg to stand on. I may seem cool and collected, but I was actually steeling myself to face some kind of penalty.
penalty. You are my friend. I know, so you don't want to admonish me at least a little. I could never let the other ships, gods, hear you tease me like that. But as it is just the two of us here, I cannot help but be more lenient with my judgments. Be at ease, young mage. There is no one else here for whom you need perform. That goes for the foreign god too, of course. Even as we speak, I am using all my authority to keep this conversation private. Whatever we do or say here remains strictly between us. That said, even I cannot hide us from the priestess' prying eyes, loath though I am to admit it. That's because she's the observer. In a sense, she's even more trouble than the foreign god who still lacks a body altogether. But simply knowing that she will not hear what we have to say is more than enough, since that will give us an opportunity to verify our endgame goals with one another. As you have surmised, Zeus, the foreign god is indeed keeping a close eye on me. The alter egos may be supervising the other cryptors, but only I have a direct link to the foreign god. If I were to act in any way counter the foreign god's interest, I would immediately be cut off from further aid. Which is why I had no choice but to say, grow the tree of emptiness. When it is done, the reconstruction myth will take place. Yes, I remember that. You also said that this planet's surface activity would be restored to the Age of Gods, and that the gods would soon after resume their reign. I agreed with your conclusion, but insisted we face one another in combat. I'd said that if you truly believed in the ideals of which you spoke, you should demonstrate that you wield the necessary strength to bring them about. Of course, I lost that fight. I never thought I would learn firsthand how debilitating complacency. Okay, well, let's see. Try again. I never thought I would learn firsthand how debilitating complacency could be. That was the only because I planned ahead. I took a calculated risk that you wouldn't go all out if I spoke to you alone. Olympus is not part of Earth. It's a colony that continues to operate to this day. As an omnipotent god, you have an obligation to keep it running at all times. So it follows that you would not employ your full strength in an opening move against a lone mage like myself, yes? I have to admit, you were a clever bastard of a human. As soon as you unveiled your meteor magecraft, I knew I had erred at the start. I quickly changed outputs, but by then, it was too late. In boxing terms, I had already been knocked out. What I wouldn't give to show hates the signals Demeter and Aphrodite were emitting as they watched. I doubt there are any stories of those two staring slack-jawed in shock in any myth from your proper human history. I could say much the same of your reaction as well. You look more like a kindly old man than a cold-blooded, all-powerful god. Have the other gods of this Lostbelt ever even seen those other possibilities you harbor? As if I would ever let them see such a thing. I am Zeus, the flagship of all Olympus. I am the all-powerful one who rules over even the other gods. Even this avatar to which you now speak is no more than a virtual self, created expressly to converse with you. It is both me and not me. Yes, good point. I may be hiding something, but being a ship, you are largely unable to do so. When you do something not expected of you, you create a new function and have it act in your stead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you out. Let's return to the subject at hand. You recognize the foreign god's existence and accepted the Tree of Emptiness into your world. After all, you need a Tree of Emptiness in order to preserve this Lostbelt. But at the same time, as long as the Tree of Emptiness is here, the foreign god will one day descend upon our world. And we Olympian gods cannot coexist with the foreign god. All we gods need is a Tree of Emptiness. The foreign god and the alter egos are our enemies, nothing more. Thus, the instant the Tree of Emptiness has fully blossomed, we will revolt against them. I will claim the Tree of Emptiness for myself and destroy the foreign god's point of arrival. From there, I will purge this world of the last traces of insolent proper human history and establish our world of Olympus in its place. I remember you approached me with a contract back when that thought first occurred to me. Your exact words were, "There is no need for you to explain your decision with words. King of the gods, I implore you to form a contract with me, for our ultimate objectives are the same." That was your way of suggesting we protect this Lostbelt from the foreign god, wasn't it? I wouldn't be so bold as to say protect, as you and I both seek the same outcome. I only wanted your help so that our goal would be realized even if one of us were to fall. I trust your feelings on that have not changed. Of course not. I may oppose a proper human history, but I do not oppose humanity. I promise you that in the event of your death, I will carry on protecting humanity in your stead. Even if it should come to light that you have been deceiving us and acting on proper human history's behalf. As long as you are not openly to blame for your actions, I will accept you, warts and all. I hear you loud and clear, Zeus. It seems our plan remains unchanged. There are only a few days left until the Tree of Emptiness reaches a critical point. Until that time comes, we shall continue to work towards the reconstruction of the Age of Gods. You continue to walk a tightrope with the foreign god Olympus, and Chaldea all aiming to knock you off. And you do so with aplomb. Wait, Wodai. There's one thing I would like to verify as well. Yes? You told Canis the stars indicated you would need to fight 2 more times, yes? One of those happened in Atlantis, leaving only 1 more. So you are to save your final battle for me. Understand? I forbid you to waste it on either Chaldea or the alter egos. I want to fight you once again, and I want to stake the future of this world of gods upon our battle. Of course. When that time comes, I will gladly face you with all my strength, so that I may live up to your expectations.
What an unpleasant surprise. Exactly who gave you permission to stand there, human? Olympia, Doldanus corridors are reserved for gods alone. They are no place for humans to loiter.
I see. Well, I do beg your forgiveness if I offended you, oh goddess of beauty. I was trying to hide my pitiful human self behind a pillar so as to not upset your divine mood, but I guess I wasn't successful.
You're new here. Are you another one of those mages from proper human history? Cryptors, was it? Let's see. There's Cataxem Lupus, who reminds me of a filthy little puppy. Peperoncino, who reminds me of a nasty vulture. And you're... What are you exactly? Are you really a cryptor? Nothing about you stands out. I can't even think of an animal you remind me of. How dreadfully boring.
Ouch! You cut me to the quick, goddess. But yes, you're exactly right. As you can see, I am but a humble, harmless human. If you think me pitiable, I will only ask that you find it in your divine heart to offer me some tiny modicum of compassion.
Compassion? You want me to spend my precious time thinking about a human? Humans are weak and deserving of our protection. I'm even willing to lend them a hand when they need help. But that's as far as it goes. We are the gods of Olympus. We would never waste our time on something so foolish as thinking about humans, especially not here. Not even a comrade of Kushtaria. Know your place, human.
You couldn't be more right, goddess.
Please, forgive my foolish offense. You see, I only just arrived from an incredibly barbaric island. Every person there had their hands full taking care of themselves, and any faith they may have had in something greater had long been lost. Not that there were ever any gods in that world to begin with, of course. Compared to that, Olympus has been truly divine in every sense of the word. Indeed, your glorious light is still far too bright for my poor eyes. I only hope you can laugh off my slight as the foolish remarks of a hopeless country bumpkin.
A world without gods, Such a place is better off being pruned. Very well, Cryptor. You may not be worthy of my consideration, but I can spare you a bit of my pity. I can only imagine how much you must have suffered in the Lostbelt without a single god. So I will overlook your transgressions here in light of your wise decision to abandon that foolish Lostbelt. Now then, what is your name?
Ah, your mercy and kindness move me to my core. Goddess, I have no words to express my gratitude and respect. My name is Bear of Gut. If I have proved worthy of you remembering me, even if only for a fleeting moment, I will know joy beyond measure.
Barrow? What a strange ring your name has. It almost sounds like blood splattering against a wall. Very well, Barrow. Come to my shrine. You're going to tell me, and only me, about this Lostbelt. This land of fairies at the ends of the world you abandoned.
It would be my pleasure, my goddess. But first, may I ask you something? I can't seem to find a close friend of mine here, no matter where I look. It's Kadok, the one you said reminds you of a puppy. Would you happen to know where I might find him?
Of course not. I couldn't possibly care less about such a hapless creature. He's probably out somewhere enjoying one of the city's automated brothels.
Is that so? Well, that works out nicely. I see. Yes, that sounds like something Kadok would do. But in that case, Lady Aphrodite, if Kadok is out in the city now, I mean, according to revelation from the King of the Gods.
Oh, that? Yes, if he's out in the city now, he'll probably end up dead, caught up in the eradication of Chaldea. As a pathetic member of proper human history, rather than one of our citizens of Olympus, I doubt there will be so much as a trace of him left.
Indeed, this may sound heartless of me, but if that is his fate, so be it. After all, you are the goddess of love, and love can, at times, be cruel. You were never one to come to the aid of mortals, even in proper human history. For my part, I can only hope and pray that Kadok is still somewhere in the shrine. What about the other 12 Olympians? Say, for example, the goddess of the land and harvest who had long protected nature, animals, and humans alike?
Oh, yes, Demeter. Good question. I'm not really sure.
Huh?
There would be no problem if she could remain the steely, cold-blooded goddess she should be. But Demeter? She's always been much too kind for a mechanical god.
Oh. Interstellar, Mountainous City, Olympus. South District. I can't skip. All of a sudden, an enormous flock of birds took to the sky, causing the people there to instinctively look up. But it was only a flock of birds taking flight. Nothing else of note occurred. Today would play out peacefully, just as yesterday had. Soon, there would come another peaceful tomorrow to take its place. That was what everyone thought just before it happened. It was an enormous spear. A massive steel object as tall as most of the nearby skyscrapers. This was the true form of a god. This was one of the gods that reigned supreme over Olympus.
one of the arcs that had crossed the Sea of Stars long ago. This was the Alethea that presided over the land. This was Demeter, the mechanical goddess of the land and harvest. As the mother goddess who inherited much of Gaia, her name means Mother Earth. She saves humanity by giving them ambrosia, which grants immortality. She nurtures humanity by keeping her supply towers running at every hour of every day. Her love for humans is genuine, but... how sad. How tragic. Death is so sorrowful. Endings are such misery. Oh, my beloved citizens of Olympus, my darling, precious children. I'm so sorry to have to do this, but I need to take your lives for a moment. Commence demolition. Jesus Christ, man. What the hell? Okay, Mordred, do not spoil me for this story, okay? Please. I don't want to know what happened.
Fall?
An earthquake? No way. That didn't feel like it came from the ground. This is Demeter's power. Believe me, I know these massive vibrations anywhere.
Scream Eleusis. It's a, well, scream derived from Demeter's authority that can tilt massive expanses of land in an instant. It's powerful enough to destroy entire city districts. She could use it to plow all of Olympus in probably half a day.
Did you say all of Olympus? That's right. She must be trying to kill us. No, she must be trying to kill you guys. Either she has to reduce the whole city to rubble to do it. So she's attacking the whole city.
Yes, her scream kills everything it touches. She must be counting on all of us being somewhere in the area she's targeting, as that's all she needs for her attack to succeed.
This was how good God so brutally killed a heroic spirit from proper human history.
Oh.
So they don't think anything of sacrificing their own city? But wait, I just remembered. Adele, didn't you say that the power of the gods is the only thing that can kill these immortal people? But while they're practically immortal, they're not truly immortal. That's what you said, right?
That's right.
So then, does that mean that, at this very moment, Demeter is massacring hundreds of thousands of people? Yeah, but nobody's gonna care. Not when they know she'll just regenerate everything she kills or destroys later. It's what she did back during the Third Machia, and it's what she did when she killed Nikola Tesla's group too.
With Demeter's authority, she could easily massacre every Olympian who swears allegiance to her, and brings everything back to the way it was in just a few days. Our glorious gods, eh?
So even death can be cured in this world? But you also said you still felt pain, right, Adele? Even if they didn't know they will be brought back to life, being crushed to death inside a building must still be a terrifying experience. Maybe it only sounds weird to me because I'm not immortal myself. I know this wasn't a spoiler, right? Well, you obviously give me a bit of spoiler right there, so yeah. Assuming that the goddess of the land's authority truly is capable of completely restoring a person's physical body, the notion that the experience of dying would somehow not affect the victims psychologically is. I must admit that, while this is unexplored territory, the prospect seems extremely unlikely at best.
I see you care about the same things they did. Some said it didn't matter what the people of this Lostbelt went through, since they were all going to disappear when proper human history was restored, anyway. But that didn't prevent the heroic spirit of our alliance from trying to save them from the gods' devastating attack. What's more...
Now that I have been on standby for so long, I took the liberty of rebooting myself. Adele, Macarios, people of Chaldea. Given how you twins are more sensitive than most people, and according to old Lionhead, the master and demi-servant from Chaldea are just as much, if not more so, I imagine you must be absolutely twisting yourself into knots over this dreadful state of affairs. Ha ha ha! I know, because we did too. And with the benefit of that experience, I will ensure you don't make the same mistakes we did. Now then, let's resume Operation God Destroyer.
Ah, god damn it. Whatever. You have got to be kidding me. Fine, stupid mash. I'm gonna switch you out.
Ah, how sad. How tragic. Death is so sorrowful. Endings are such misery. However, as long as I have my authority, death will be but a memory, and no life on Olympus will ever truly end. And yet, I still can't help but feel this is terribly sad. Racing South District.
Even as they run about in confusion and distress, the people of the city continue to pray.
What?
Oh, Lady Demeter.
Lady Demeter!
Lady Demeter! Please forgive us.
Please have mercy!
Please, please. Please return to my lost arm.
Please, my child was crushed to death.
Please spare us. How can this be happening again so soon? Please spare us. Please give us Ambrosia. Ambrosia, quickly.
But the cries fall on deaf ears, their prayers remaining unanswered.
The situation above ground is sheer chaos. None of the people in town are even looking our way. I have a visual on the target. Demeter is approximately 2,000 meters away.
And as luck would have it, it's her big metal ass that's facing us. Let's go do what we can while we have the chance.
Right.
How?
Given that the Tree of Emptiness is deeply connected to given Lostbelt's king, logically speaking, the only god our Operation God Destroyer would need to concern itself with is Zeus. One could even go so far as to call whittling down the tree. One could even go so far as to call whittling down the enemy's fighting forces completely meaningless. However, well, there are certainly some heroic spirits, especially those from times of war or who rule large countries, who are able to ignore the screams of innocent bystanders. No doubt they are used to having little concern for human life, throwing them away like so much refuse. But to that, I must say this, okay? But to that, I say this, is throwing lives away what makes one a hero? Is being able to kill the mark of a champion. Yes, I suppose heroes may need to be callous at times, but it's not callousness that makes them... Yes, I suppose heroes may need to be callous at times, but it's not callousness that makes them heroes in my book. If just killing and never doing any good, was all it took to be a hero, then there would be no distinction between heroes and killers whatsoever. No, it is overcoming adversity, breaking through the dark of night, and saving, not taking, lives that makes one a hero. If a true hero is forced to take one life, it is only in order to save another, even if that other is their own. So, my fellow compatriots, if you, like us, are enraged by the destruction you see before you, then rest assured there is a way to defeat the one causing it, while we may have left for battle ourselves before it was complete. The collaborator has since completed our secret weapon, one which gives us more than even odds of victory.
Thank you for sharing your opinion. However, it did strike me as a tad long-winded for an impassioned mind. However, it did strike me as a tad long-winded for impassioned mid-mission speech.
Oh, wouldn't you say that's a pot calling the kettle black?
I can't say I expected this AI to come with the timer function.
The reason I went to the trouble of making that speech, good Chaldeans, was to verify your feelings on the subject. What happens next is up to you. So, Silkfrost, what would you do? I want to reduce the fighting force as much as I can.
Right. Ah, you got out again, Bo. Please get back in the storage space. Status report. 7-link Helix field cannon activated. 400 seconds until we can fire it.
Commencing Operation God Destroy 1. Demeter maneuver. Good luck, everyone.
Approximately 30 minutes ago. God Destroy Alliance Base, Olympus Underground.
Operation God Destroyer? What's that?
It is what it sounds like. It's the name for the strategies we came up with to take down each of the gods. They've been the God Destroyer Alliance's goal for a long time. Hell, they're the whole reason our alliance exists, and luckily, Tesla Group made a ton of headway on them. Unfortunately, we failed in our attempt, so now, we would like you to pick up where we left off.
Please help us. I'm sure Mahatma had a hand in bringing you here. These spirit urgents of ours may not know you, but you have fought alongside other versions of us before, right?
I remember you. We met back in America. We fought both against and alongside each other. I'm sure you will all fight to the very best of your ability, but knowing you, I can promise you this, it still won't be easy. Which is why we have this.
Senpai, that mechanism.
Huh?
It's one of, okay, it's a Theonome injector. It's one of those nano machines. Alright, whatever. Right, externally, it appears to be very similar to the ones we saw at Atlantis. Where did I select? Dioscory injector. Very similar to the ones we saw at Atlantis.
This is an original model, so I'm sure it's a cut above what you saw in terms of effectiveness and precision. After all, Cleonomia never degrade while they're near the Cronus Crown, the symbol of the King of the Gods.
I'm guessing the Cronus Crown is that giant mechanical thing up above the Great Shrine.
That's right. It used to belong to Cronus back before the first Machia.
So that's what keeps the Authority nanomachines in good working order, huh? Sounds like extra divine providence.
Foe.
Whoa there, careful, Bo. You don't want to get too close. Not unless you wanted that adorable fluffy body of yours to start swelling up like some kind of muscle balloon.
These Theos Cleonomia contain the authority of both Athena and Ares, the two gods of war. They're very pure nanomachines that are usually only given to the royal guard stationed in the Great Shrine. They should be a huge help in combat. At least, until their effects wear off. Anyway, one of the more powerful weapons we got with the collaborators' help.
Normal hero spirits can't hold a candle to the gods, so you need these So you'll need these to power up your spirit urges. Ars Cleonomia. Back at Atlantis, we heard these were long gone.
I see. Well, don't worry. That's not the case here. They don't exactly grow on trees, but rest assured, we do have high purity Cleonomia from all of the 12 Olympians here. Usually they would reject human-based spirit urges, but fortunately, we know how to adjust them to work on you.
So we're basically getting a free power-up, huh? This is great. It's like Buddha himself has come to drag us out of hell. Those of us who live by the sword aren't picky about us. Those of us who live by the sword aren't picky about using whatever gives you... Those of us who live by the sword aren't picky about using whatever gives us an edge. At least not if you live by my Nitten Ichiryu. Granted, I'm sure there are also regular heroic spirits capable of cutting down gods, but never mind those for now. I'd like to use them too, if you don't mind. Under the current circumstances, I also agree that we can't be picky about how we even the odds. Is this okay with you, Master?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
If you stand over there, Mash and Musashi, I'll begin the Cleonomia injection and bonding procedure. And while we're doing that, I'll go over exactly what Demeter is. Here's a video feed of what's taking place above ground right now. This is Demeter, goddess of the land, aka Demeter, interstellar voyage, supply and production ship. She provides the Olympus interstellar fleet with the supplies they need, and on Earth, she provides people with infinite resources. She's said to be the god who inherited the most from Gaia, one of the original prototype ships. She possesses authority over the harvest, in other words, production and regeneration. While her power does consume a fair amount of magical energy, she rarely has to worry about running out thanks to the connection she, along with all the other gods, have to the god-made ley line in Olympus Crystal Mountain Range.
Theoretically, she can regenerate from any amount of damage, making it impossible to completely destroy her. And if that wasn't bad enough,
she also possesses Scream Elusis, a destructive authority that breaks down old and dead organic matter into reusable resources. Between infinite regenerating defense and massively destructive attacks, she's a very powerful opponent. There's no way you can hope to defeat her in a normal battle.
I see. Yes, that's certainly about what I would expect when going up against one of 12 Olympians. What about that aural dissonance you two used yesterday? It appeared to do a good job at cutting the gods off from the magical energy resources. That
is one of the Alliance trump cards, but it's not one we can use freely.
Plus it takes a while to charge with magical energy, so it's still out of commission right now. Not to mention that the real thing is somewhere else right now. Sorry. I suppose I should have expected it wouldn't be that easy. However, we've been developing a secret weapon on the sly. We've been developing a secret weapon on the sly. The 7-link heroic spirit cannon.
With that, we have a non-zero chance of actually slaying the gods.
That's a very impressive name, but what exactly is it?
Unfortunately, it wasn't ready when Tesla's group was still here, but it's ready now. With the heroic spirit cannon complete, we can finally fight back without having to cower in fear of the gods. The 7-link heroic spirit cannon. I'm not typically one to get excited about weaponry, but there is something about that name that gets my heart dancing. The 7-link heroic spirit cannon. Yes, the gods may have defeated us, but our loss was not in vain. Our path to victory was viable. We simply weren't able to take it. But now, our corpses have paved the way, and the path forward is clear. So go and be victorious!
Okay, thanks guys. Now, let me take it from here, or we'll be here all day.
Alright, so the 7-link Helix Spear Cannon is basically a giant Super Mahatma cannon. It's a type of mystical that all 7 of us Helix Spears poured all our magical energy into making. You could even call it a magecraft weapon of sorts. It uses Cleonomia from the Olympian gods who were in the coexisting faction and were defeated during the last Machia. Hades, god of the underworld, Apollo, god of the sun, Ares, god of war, and Hephaestus, god of the forge. All 7 of us, along with a collaborator, designed it to fire a pretty powerful projectile. It should be able to expose a mechanical god's divine core with a direct hit, which will open it up to further attack. This can work, I'm sure of it. Now, let's get down to how exactly we're going to pull this off. Our target is Demeter, the mechanical god destroying Olympus South District, advancing as we speak. It looks like she's digging deep down into the ground, too, which means it's only a matter of time until she also destroys this base. So we've got to fire the Helix Spear Cannon before she can get the chance. According to our calculations, these are the 4 optimal positions at which the cannon can inflict the most damage. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and Delta. Our job is to lure Demeter to one of these positions and score a direct hit on her with the Helix Spear Cannon, after which we just wail on her. This is our surest path to victory right now. But be careful, the Helix Spear Cannon may technically be complete now.
But it can still only be fired once. If it misses, you'll be in big trouble.
God damn it, are we over?
Cleonoma injection and bonding process complete. Vitals all look good. I'm all set too. This is amazing. I can feel the energy welling up inside me, magical and otherwise. As for the stuff with the cannon, we were listening along too, and I think we got the gist. Basically, we hit this goddess, ship thingy with a special cannon, then it'll be time to cut her down to size. Sounds like a plan to me. Now, let's all go make it happen. Are you with me so fast?
Let's do it. Operation God Destroyer, begin!
Right, Master.
There's just one last thing you should be aware of. We don't have time to get into the details now, but just be careful about what you say up on the surface. Down here, you can say whatever you want, but up there, make sure not to mention our base or our names.
I don't really get it, but got it.
All set? Great. Then let's get this operation started.
I have a visual on the target. Demeter is making her way through the South District, moving from the northern area to the southern. She's laying waste to everything in her path. She's going to destroy this entire region unless we stop her.
That's probably her game plan. If she doesn't find us here in the south, she'll keep destroying all the other districts one by one until she dies. I'll say this about that plan. It's a pretty solid approach to killing us all, no matter where we might be hiding. Case in point, the Alliance base is right in the southern tip's underground infrastructure. These gods don't do anything by halves, that's for sure. If nothing else, I'll give them points for style.
Last time, Demeter stopped her assault after she'd killed all the Helix Spear above ground.
But this time, we don't know what her ultimate objective is. For all we know, she might really destroy the entire city.
Either way, we're not gonna take this lying down. No way in hell I'm gonna let this god destroy the city or wipe out our base.
What's the latest status on the 7-link Helix Spear Cannon? It's all set up on the rooftop of the disguised skyscraper in the middle of the South District. We're aiming it at Point Alpha as we speak.
Find a way to lure Demeter there. We'll open fire as soon as we have her in our sights.
Please get back in storage space, foe.
Let me go over this one more time.
Enough!
Demeter is not acting alone. She's being accompanied by a number of escorts located directly beneath her. Specifically, is a swarm of destructive machines and steel demonic beasts. You should be able to draw Demeter's attention by finding the escorts and destroying them one at a time.
An analysis tells us that Demeter relies exclusively on her overwhelmingly powerful abilities in combat, so she has no understanding of strategy or tactics as applied to battle. So, the plan is to hit the nearby enemies hard, draw Demeter's attention, and lead her to Point Alpha. Fascinating. Yes, most fascinating indeed. It seems phase 1 of this anti-machine god strategy can be best be described as, we won't know until we try. Holmes? I'm shocked too, senpai. I can't recall Sherlock Holmes ever saying something so, cavalier before. It almost sounded like to me like he was just, well, saying something for the hell of it. I assure you, Miss Curler, I was being quite sincere. Does he usually say that kind of stuff? Or was he hitting that pipe of his when we weren't looking? No, well, I do very much enjoy a good pipe. I'm quite sober at the moment, nor am I anyone else disguised at me. Now, more importantly, I'm sensing a number of magical energy signals not too far from us. Am I the only one? You're right, it's a group of Demeter's escorts. They appear to be about 200 meters away. And Demeter herself is 2,200 meters away past them. We're close enough to begin the operation. Oh! So, Soapfrost, what's your next move? The only move we can make is to shut up and let's have fun battle, okay? Understood. Prelim time, huh? Fine by me. Very well. Let us begin phase 2 of this anti-machine god strategy. The only move we can make.
Armored Mash, 行きます。
Back in line, Mash.
つまんない連中だな。じゃあこういうのはどうだ。つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの。
ディア王の受難ロミオの悲嘆。
総員突撃準備。正面から受けて立つ。逃がしはしない。 いいですね。それがいいですね。
Wow, you fail.
束ねる星の息吹。輝ける命の本流。受けるがいい。エクスカリバー！
これでも勝ちは勝ちだよな。うん。
I agree, no. Am I? No. I don't have to force spring mash. Fuck her. Wait, switch around here. Man, oh man, I feel great. These Iris Cleonomia are amazing. Confirming multiple hostiles down. These Athena Cleonomia are amazing too. I've been able to raise the Ortonax output to 90%. Master, with these on our side, I think you should have no problem going toe to toe with Olympus's forces.
However, we still need more power in order to face a mechanical god. In this case, we require the 7th link Helix be a candidate to break through her shielding. And let's not forget, it's only a matter of time until the escort troops you just defeated regenerate. So keep making your way through them until you get to Demeter. Onward! Ah, how sad. How tragic. Death is so sorrowful. Endings are such misery. Demeter is changing direction? Instead of heading to the southern edge, she started moving towards east. What the? Why isn't she trying to use her unstoppable generative and offensive abilities on us? Damn it. Change the plans. Forget about points Alpha and Beta. Hurry to point Gamma.
Demeter's escorts are reconstructing themselves and changing formation. Try to get her attention by destroying them again.
Multiple hostiles detected again. The reconstructed escort are making their way towards us. Good grief. Talk about your loyal god dogs. Still, this would seem to work in our favor. Let's make extra sure to get Demeter's attention this time. Are you ready for another round of strenuous combat, ladies and gentlemen?
You know it. Let's do this, everyone.
Right, Master. Preparing to resume battle operations.
戦闘か。なるべく避けたいところだけど、つまんない連中だな。僕じゃな。こういうのどうだ？つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの？
受けて立つ。逃がしはしない。総員突撃準備。突撃準備。いいですね。それがはい。束ねる星の息吹、輝ける命の本流。受けるがいい。XSタイバー。行くぞドンスタリオ。突撃準備。突撃清掃抜病強気ですね。やあ
Okay.
最果てより光を放つ。そうは空を去り地をつなぐ嵐の怒り。ロンゴミニアド。駆け抜ける。
最上に近い勝利だけど、戦う前に勝つくらいでないとな。
Alright. Let's finish this one, and I'm gonna call off for that. This one will be just a quick battle. True. I'm just gonna switch it. Let me set up for this thing, because this is one of the most gimmicked this battle you ever face against that. This.
There, we broke through the second wave of escorts. Oh, we can so do this. Seriously, these War God Nano what sits are freaking amazing. I'm not about to convert from Buddhism anytime soon, but I can still totally get the appeal. Thanks for helping out. Anyway, that ought to have gotten Demeter's attention by...
Ah, how sad, how tragic. Death is so sorrowful, endings are such misery. Oh, my beloved citizen of Olympus, my darling precious children.
The hell? She's ignoring us? It seems Demeter does not get involved in her escort's affairs. I suppose they must all be operating independently then. These escorts are only slowing us down. If we're to lure Demeter to Point Gamma, it seems we'll have to get out in front of her and make her notice us. She may have limitless capacity for regeneration, but even she cannot ignore a direct attack to the face. So, you want us to directly attack a god? I'll even go so far as to say that the third phase of this anti-machine god strategy is hit them as hard as you can. So, that is the wisdom Sherlock Holmes, great sage of proper human history, has to offer. It's a reckless, foolhardy plan, but the premise is sound. Okay, Mash, Musashi, and Silkross, the rest is up to you. Don't even think about trying to defeat her. Just holding out against her will be more fiendishly difficult than you can possibly imagine. But for the plan to succeed, you'll have to evade her attacks and hold out as best you can until you can lead her to Point Gamma.
Ah, how sad, how tragic. Death is so sorrowful, endings are such misery.
She's been repeating the same crap for a while now. God! Yes? Master Orator? Not so much. Hell, I bet most modern-day kitchen appliance AIs are chattier than her. She could learn a thing or two from a good kabuki show. Alright, that's about all the bluffing I can muster. What do you think, Silkross? Yep, she's about as eloquent as a microwave. I knew it! Then let's keep this attitude up for one last push. Demeter is approximately 2,600 meters away from our position. Deploying rapid movement, charge to initiate battle. Microwave, like a kitchen nightmare.
誰？カルデア。ああ、いけない子たち。罰を与えないと。
戦闘か。なるべく避けたいところだけど。じゃあこういうのどうだ？つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの？
任せろ。はあ。こそがいいわね。
罠だ。
剣能を使っても砕けはしません。悲しきは死。死は終わり。ごめんなさいね。お任せ承知。
行くとしますか。
やあ。今だぞ。
はいはい、分かってますよ。
我が剣能よ。悲しきは死。死は終わり。ごめんなさいね。いざ。向きつけ。構え。へいへい。ビビってんのかよ。あいつ食べていいか。
ダメだよ。
I know, it won't do anything, but
I'll
just to stall out, just in case if she's gonna make an empty charging it.
弾の裏発動飛び。
天坂矛に縫われし国津のオロチ我なすことは我のみぞし天かける龍が如く
Are you serious?
せっ
もう一発剣能を使っても砕けはしません。粉砕塵になりなさい。
How the fuck you getting that? Random crits?
任せろ。はあ、どれや。いけるそばこそばゆいわね。ごめんなさいね。すぐに殺しますからごめんなさいね。
Ah, how sad, how tragic. Death is so sorrowful, angels are such misery. Why? Why do you hurry to your deaths? Shatter.
I somehow managed to withstand her large-scale magical energy emanation. The Orthodox auto maintenance is still working. Theoretically, I should be able to take 2 more strikes. Are you alright, Master? I'm okay. I'm relieved to hear that. There, we finally have the big gal's attention. Although, not only is her armor split top, it really does regenerate before your eyes, huh? We'll obviously never get anywhere like this. We gotta fight mass with mass. So, how's that part going?
It is in March, but she has slightly altered her course to face us. Assuming she doesn't further alter her course, she should arrive at Point Gamma in due time. So far so good, as they say, but I can't help but wonder, how many more times can we weather that assault? Even with Miss Cuta's considerable defenses, I'm also forced to conclude that 2 more strikes is at our limit. Suffice to say, things are not looking good.
Foe? Damn it, this is bad. Enemy reinforcements are headed this way from the East District and fast.
It's the Olympus official guides. Depending on their numbers, you might not be a match for them, even in your powered up states.
So you are the Chaldeans, the demons who will defy Lady Demeter and turn their blades on the gods of Olympus. We will cut you all down, women and children or not.
Master! How they make it here through all these explosions? Oh, right, they come back to life. Makes sense. Man, as if Demeter wasn't a hell of a handful of her own, now we've got a bunch of top-ass soldiers who don't even fear their own deaths to deal with too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Way more than I can count. Saying things aren't looking good would be kinda an understatement. Alright, Shimon Musashi. How are you gonna get out of this one? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take a break right now. I'm not gonna continue on. Fuck, man, such a long story. Well, tomorrow, we're gonna be facing against Demeter for this fight. So, prepare for yourself, get yourself a popcorn ready, and there's gonna be a fucking long fight against how to deal with it for this gimmick fight battle. So, I'll see you guys in the next part of the live stream. So, peace out, and have a good day.